Alrighty, so here's our second video. So in this video, I'll show you how to create some basic shapes, how to manipulate it, resize it, rotate it, and hopefully change the colors as well. Alright, so here we are. I've opened up my program. I have an 8.5 by 11 artboard. And just remember to be on Essentials Classic when you start, okay? So to start out, I'm going to show you guys how to create a rectangle. As I'm going through this tutorial and other ones down the road, I will also be mentioning keyboard shortcuts, which is just means you can push a button on the keyboard and it can switch between tools and do different functions for you as you work. So it's a good idea to learn those shortcuts. It will make working in Illustrator a lot easier. So to start, we're going to draw just a few basic rectangles. It's a very easy shape to draw. It should be pretty straightforward to start off with. So to do that, I need to switch to my rectangle tool. Okay, so this Illustrator is all about creating shapes. So there's all sorts of different shapes we can create in this program. And to start, we'll just start with the basic shapes of a rectangle. Okay? So this is the rectangle tool. So I can switch to the rectangle tool either by clicking right on there, or I can hit the letter M, and that will also switch to my rectangle tool. As you saw, when I mouse over this tool and then freeze, it puts the name of the tool and then the keyboard shortcut in parentheses next to it. So if ever I'm unsure of what a tool is, I'll just kind of put my mouse on top of it and hold it still. That will tell me the name of the tool and also the keyboard shortcut, which is useful. So again, hit M, switch to my rectangle tool, and to draw a rectangle, it should be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to click, hold, and drag. So you can just draw a few here with that rectangle tool. It should be pretty straightforward. So now the thing that can be a little bit confusing is in order to manipulate and change, resize, recolor any sort of shape that you've created, you're going to need to use this tool right here. It's the black arrow. It's in the upper left because it's probably the most commonly used tool, and that's called your selection tool, and it's also the letter V. So I'm going to hit V, and now you can notice that whatever rectangle I click on, that's the one that is selected. So that means for it to be selected, it kind of has this light blue outline, and then you also see these little dots along the corners and along the edges of it. So whichever rectangle is selected, that's which one you can manipulate and change. So to just move them around, it's pretty easy. You can click anywhere in the middle of this rectangle and move them around. So as you notice this artboard, I can create artwork and shapes outside of the artboard. And I can also create artwork within the artboard. So generally, any artwork that you'll want to be finished will have to be inside the artboard, and other things you can create and kind of keep them outside the artboard. Okay, so that's just moving them around. You can click anywhere in the middle to move, click, hold, and drag. And then to resize them, once you select one by clicking on it with this tool, these are little anchor points on the edge, these little squares. So this can allow you to move it, resize it. If you click the corner ones, you can make it taller, skinnier, whatever you want to do. So that is, again, a very useful tool. And this goes for any shapes, not just rectangles. You'll see in the next coming videos, we'll do this with other shapes down the road. Okay, you can also rotate it in a circle. So if I put my mouse here, this is on the corner, that will resize it. But if I go just a little further out from the corner, then I get this bent arrow, and this allows me to rotate these shapes. So just right here on the corner to rotate the shape. Okay, pretty simple. All right, so let's delete these. So to delete them, you just select them and hit delete or backspace, and we'll get rid of those as well. Okay, so that is creating and drawing rectangles. In the next video, I'll go over how to change the color of the fill and the stroke on your shape.